Welcome, everybody, to Scrumptious Unscripted Game of Thrones podcast. This week we are discussing Episode 3 of Season 5, entitled High Sparrow. With me, as always, is the good Sir Pappy.
Guten Tag.
All right, so let's jump right in. Lots of people, lots of episode. I felt like I just sat through like a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, it was a lot. That's really it. I mean, there was a lot going on.
There's the statement.
The guest actors was a lot of fun when they introduced the High Sparrow. Did you recognize him?
I did, but from everything. I feel he's one of those, that guy from that thing.
Oh, yeah, you go to his IMDb and there's just a ton of stuff. But you know where I personally recognized him and I feel kind of dirty for it? He plays the president in both G.I. Joe movies.
You had to whip that out at the beginning of the episode.
Let's get that out of the way. However, our other, hey, I know you from something, was the random red priest. Well, red priestess.
Ready? Here's my I get to feel ashamed. It's that chick from the really shitty Wolverine movie.
Yes, Yukio. So, let's get started with the top of the episode.
Well, can I throw out that
No.
I was correct?
With which one?
Well, not precisely correct, but I said something last week about, they're going to have Arya fetch buckets of water for a year.
Yeah, not too far away. You must learn patience, young Padawan.
So no, sweeping floors, fetching water, menial, handmaiden-esque tasks.
Yeah, well, it's basically do as you're told, serve, show patience, and then once you've proven to not be a hothead, then we'll move on. Yeah, that's not really going to work very well for her.
Once you've shown you can't be a hothead after somebody comes in and beats you with a switch.
Oh yeah, I love that game.
That's my favorite game. Learn patience. Whack.
Well, it's actually, I'm sure they'll explain it later, but it's actually serves a purpose.
Other than making me giggle?
Yes. Minor spoiler here because it's not really inherent to the plot, but you get switched if you get caught in a lie.
Oh.
So you have to basically inflect. You have to get yourself to the point where you can tell the truth or a lie and no one can tell the difference. So that whole I'm nobody, the girl whipping Arya was like, no, you're lying. You're not nobody. I can tell in your voice that you think you're Arya. So have a beating.
I liked it. I approve.
Yeah, what do you think about that whole religion thing? The whole many-faced God.
Maybe that's why it felt like it was 3 hours. It was a little sermon-y.
Yeah, just remember, when you visit the temple of the many-faced God, don't drink the water.
It seemed to be knocking people down like flies, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure the original purpose it serves, but that's basically where you go when you've run out of options and just feel like calling it a day. So you make your penance, you drink some water, and you go die in front of the statue of your choice.
I feel like when she was asking with the, well, what are you going to do with the body? I feel like maybe is this where their faces come from?
I think maybe you should stop getting so far ahead of yourself.
I think that's a clear indication that, are you sure you didn't read the books? God, bitch, look at you wrecking everything for everybody. That's what I feel that statement says right there.
Well, I mean, if you're going to wear a face mask, then you might as well have a face mask, right?
Well, I didn't know if it was going to be like a magic thing or if it was actually, as I said before, an Ed Gein thing.
Well, I'm gonna go out on a limb because even that's not super explained. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's a combination of both because I have a hard time believing that the paid assassins just walk around with like 4 faces in their pockets just in case.
How do they keep them? I have a lot of like actual
do you lacquer them?
culinary related questions with that. Like, do you salt cure them? Then how are they pliable? I know they would be face jerky. That wouldn't really serve your purpose.
Well, unless you just try and look like the Hound all the time.
Or if you're just being people with grayscale.
Well, yeah, there we go.
That could be a thing. Grayscale keeps coming up a lot. I'm still waiting for him to tell me what the fuck.
It's a disease.
Well, I know that much.
Well, we can get on. I mean, Tyrion kind of pointed to that a little bit, calling them the Stone Men.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll find out.
I'm trying to be patient with it, but they do keep throwing it in my face, so...
They've been throwing a whole lot of teasers this No, this episode especially. It's just almost like
Yeah.
a setup for, hey, next 2-3 episodes are going to be awesome, so we're just going to make you fucking wait longer.
Yeah, no, they're giving you that little taste.
Yeah, no, as much as I'm really loving it, because I can be honest, 80% of the show is completely new. And that was amazing, you know, because I'm sitting there going, holy shit, there's like nothing. You were right on that one, so that's like Cat 3, Pappy 0. It's crazy. Like, it's so different, and I'm loving it, but at the same time, now I'm like, I need more, because like you were hinting at, maybe they'll just keep the big plots. So now that I'm seeing everything going differently, I'm like, now I just want to see a big plot. I want to see something big.
Can we just finish one a little bit?
Marjorie marrying the prince, that didn't happen because he wasn't of age in the novels. So
I'm not entirely sure he's of age in the show, but
according to the chatter, his penis is of age.
It's raring to go.
Oh my god, yeah, so she's no longer subtle, huh?
No, but I had a feeling subtlety was going to go out the window as soon as she got a ring on it.
Yeah, with a husband who's pliable and not dead.
And not a total sadistic fucking douchebag?
Yeah, because I'd say she acted differently with Renly Baratheon because she couldn't do much. You know, her wiles didn't work. So she was more of the wilting flower kind of girl. And then, yeah, with Douchey McGee, she didn't want to overstep any bounds with that kid. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, she was very cautious, and rightly so.
Yeah, but now this new husband, he's literally built for her to manipulate.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And now that she has the bedroom manipulation to work with, too.
Which, yeah. I was actually kind of curious with that. I haven't looked it up, but I noticed that this was like the first bedroom scene in the history of the show where we weren't introduced to her breasts. So I'm thinking that the actor, at least, is maybe underage, and that's why they kept it clean.
That's kind of the vibe I was getting, because there wasn't even really any of them really touching or kissing.
Yeah.
Like, all you saw was some feet wiggling at the end of a bed, and then that was lovely.
It was almost TV, really. Like, other than a bit of her butt crack when she got up.
That would be the network TV friendly version right there.
Yeah, so what do you think about the Marjorie Cersei little battle of wills there?
I'm loving it. I'm all about it. I want more. I think this was the first episode ever where we've really seen Cersei kind of humbled.
Yeah, and that the way she acted. Now, it really has me worried, though, because whenever she even feigns to give a shit, she's got some kind of horrifying plan. So that kind of has me like on the back foot. I've never seen her so earnest before.
I'm waiting for her to go full Carrie up in this piece. Like, how dare you laugh at me? I'll show you all.
Because, yeah, I mean, it's not like she can accuse Marjorie of much of anything at this point, you know?
No, Marjorie's pretty untouchable. Yeah. I mean, save unless she wants to try and plot to do some, like, backroom killing.
Yeah, because, again, with the novels, everything that unfolds in the books was only because Marjorie was still a virgin, unmarried woman. Like, literally, the accusations were involved can't be made here. So, dun dun dun.
Yeah. Wait and see.
Yeah.
That's the moral of this episode. Wait and see.
Yeah, wait for it. Wait for it. When?
Though, to give the episode credit where credit is due, there were a lot of subtle moments of what the fuckery.
Yeah, like the flayed man.
Yeah, there were some nippleless boobs at the beginning of that, and it took me a second.
Yeah, so welcome back, Ramsay.
Yep, I knew right where we were.
We haven't really had a sadist on screen in a while.
Yeah, no, this is the Boltons' first appearance this season, I don't believe.
Yeah, and I couldn't help but when he told Littlefinger, like, I promised to never hurt her, I was like, right, douchebag.
Seriously, I'm looking at that scene and I'm like, God damn, you are such an excellent sociopath. Like, you and Dexter need to get a spin-off show together and just,
but I feel like
party.
He could keep that promise if he just tortured, prostitutes or whatever. He could, but he won't. But he could.
No. Well, I'm actually not worried about him. I'm worried about his little girlfriend who was giving Sansa, like, the straight up kind of I'm shaking with anger shifty eye.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about his evil paramour.
Yeah, he's got, his dom there.
Yeah, because I don't think Sansa's going to want to go on their hunts.
No. And she was definitely, visibly distressed. And I don't think that's a person you want in that state.
Yeah, well, I kind of liked how when we were introduced to that the evil plan of Littlefinger, how Sansa kind of fell back into old Sansa. And so we actually get to see that struggle between who she was and who she may still be versus who she wants to be. A strong, independent woman instead of a crybaby.
Yeah, you're the only one in this conversation who was excited to see old Sansa.
No. Just from a storytelling point of view, it's not like she just made it disappear. It's still there, and she's actively fighting against that mentality.
I wish she would have just been like, no, you know what? F you. Like, take me home.
Yeah, it is amazing, isn't it? Littlefinger, I mean, you can't deny that he just wants to take her to Bone Town. And he wants
so
to
gross,
stay there.
Though.
But you know it. But the fact that his personal greed outweighs his own wants is just horrifying. I think he's pretty much on the sociopath thing in terms of doing anything for power.
Well, yeah, he's totally one-track mind, and his ambitious runs towards a singular goal, and Sansa isn't it.
Yeah, the one question is Littlefinger going towards some kind of endgame where he has even more power, maybe even the throne, or is he secretly working to open the way for the Khaleesi, who we did not see at all this episode, which was kind of nice.
Well, technically, we saw her.
Or at least a nice little lookalike with assless chaps.
They weren't even chaps. That was straight up an assless dress.
I just like to say assless chaps whenever possible.
Well, yeah, I'm with you. I was like, wow, they have cosplay whores in this world. Like, awesome.
It's a casting call for that.
Right? Looking for Daenerys cosplayers willing to show T&A. I wonder how many people they auditioned.
I wonder how happy the guy with running the audition was.
Right? Yeah, we need you to wear this assless dress, please. Thank you.
We don't need you to act, just saunter.
No, I'm willing to bet you the part went to the girl who walked in and was like, "Oh no, I brought my own," and did a twirl. And they were like, "You're in. You're the one. Thank you."
Yeah, it was actually really funny because for a moment there, I thought that this whole episode was going to be nudity free. Well,
we saw very disturbing, like
old man
butt.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think? The Sparrows.
Yeah, right. Back on track. And side note, I'm not implying that cosplayers are whores. I'm just saying that casting call would have been very specific.
Yeah, very weird too. Because the girl they got to play the part was about the right. I mean, they looked for build similarity.
Yeah, it was creepy. So, the Sparrows, they weird me out.
Speaking of the other whorehouse in the episode, I loved that they showed the high priest being that much of a dirty old man.
And the setup was great, and because I was very confused.
Oh yeah, that was the 7, and
Yeah, well, all you saw to begin with was the guy with the clearly fake beard strapped on, and I'm just
that's your boy. That's the guy who's been sleeping with Marjorie's brother. He runs that whorehouse.
Why did you say my boy? They're very hairy boys, except they're not. They're like 50-50. They weird me out.
The leg hair, but everything above the ball.
Yeah, everything above the ass cheek
is
pristine. Shaken. Pristine, and then just this forest of leg hair. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, so the Sparrows break in, where they somehow hilariously knew that that's where he took his evening prayers.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to humiliate him by making him walk naked through town and beating him.
I'm okay with it.
I just loved how offended he was when he came into the High Council.
Oh yeah, with his whole way about him, where it's like, I can't believe.
I was breaking all of the tenets of my faith, and they had the temerity to beat me for it.
Yeah, what's up with that? You should do something
But
about it.
That's the other great, and I think this is where we're seeing the Cersei trying to plan something evil when she went and met up with High Sparrow. Yeah, High Sparrow.
Yeah.
Derp, episode title. And made that little offhand comment about how the High Priest was now in the dungeon.
Oh, yeah. Well, Cersei. She's planning something.
Well, here's where I think she's going to go wrong. She just imprisoned, like, the softest, most malleable wuss in the city and is now trying to tie herself in and befriend, or whatever, the most religiously intolerant people.
Well, I never think it's a good idea when you're aligning yourself with fanatics, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, and this is where I think she's going to go wrong, because they stand for everything she doesn't. Clothing and feeding the poor, helping people, giving away your own possessions to people who need it more. Yeah. And the whole time Cersei's there trying her hardest not to make disgusted faces.
Well, she was just, sniffing her mortician's rag there. She probably borrowed it from Necroman with his little Franken mountain on the table there.
Oh, that was hilarious. Just a little subtle hint of what's going on.
I don't know how the rat's playing, but...
you gotta eat away the cancer.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's enough of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some more Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, we did. Aw, she was
sweetness.
so cute this episode.
Yeah, and I liked that she told her own story. That was very sweet. Kind of gave you a little bit of background.
Yeah, we really didn't know much about her.
Yeah,
from a show standpoint up till then.
Yeah, and she actually agreed finally after, a year to train Podrick?
Timetables are so weird.
Well, we can assume it's at least been months. At least a month or two.
Yeah.
Just the travel involved.
I just wanted... the only thing that was missing from that scene was, those two hugging it out for a second. Just hugging it out. Sorry I treated you like shit, Podrick. I'm sorry I said you were an ugly woman, even though I didn't say it. But I'm sorry people said it. Hugs. Hugs.
Oh, yeah, it was good times. It really was. I mean, short and sweet. It didn't take up a whole lot of the episode's runtime, but I think in terms of fleshing her out, again, they did it very well.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy with where we went there, and she is obviously pretty well versed with the Boltons. I can't remember, and I will have to look it up, but if she either knows anything or has run in with Ramsay before. I can't remember if he was involved in her previous escapades in the north that resulted in her fighting a bear.
No, that wasn't. That was the mercenaries, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't know if she
yeah,
knows
well,
anything.
And again, this is books versus show. Well, yeah. In the show, Jaime was imprisoned and Bolton knew about it, right?
Yeah, Bolton, well, yeah, see, that's where it's tricky, because those people were under House Bolton, but I don't know if Roose ever knew that, or no, he had to have, because they brought Jaime, I just remember Roose saying something about his hand being cut off and being like, what the fuck are you doing?
So, I'm in one of the wikis, and there are multiple different imaginings of Brienne of Tarth, and one of them is just horrifying. She looks like a short blonde-haired Ryu from Street Fighter. I think they went a little too far.
Yeah.
Gonna close that, but yeah.
I'm gonna stop torturing my retinas.
Yeah. What else? You've got some wonderful notes here, and I've forced you to jump around a little bit. You have the courtship continues. Did we go over that, or?
No, because that's Jon Snow and Stannis.
Oh, okay.
My ongoing courtship of season 5.
Because it's guy love. It's
guy
love.
Yeah, you see my little bro in my heart. Bro love.
I don't like you, Jon Snow, but goddammit do I respect you.
Oh, that face, though. That angry emo face. I was like, hey, what's up?
Well, I liked that they had the Onion Knight kind of sit down for a moment and explain his lore a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting some good... See, I feel like we're getting to know Stannis now that bitch isn't there setting everybody on fire.
And we will never know Stannis through Stannis. And again, it's really smart on the showrunners that if we're going to give these background stories and flesh out the characters a little bit, we still got to keep them in character. Stannis is never going to sit down with Jon and be like, so when I was a child, you know.
This is where all of my vulnerabilities stem from. I just thought I'd sit here and tell you about it.
Yeah, so by having someone else kind of tell a little bit, that was nice.
Well, and I like the Onion Knight.
Yeah, as an actor, I think they cast him.
He's great. He's one of those where it's, yeah, you know what? If I saw you sitting at a bar, I might scooch up and be like, hey, you just want to, like, tell me things.
I like that he's the half hand instead of the full hand.
So, are they going to cut, if Stannis does become king, are they going to cut the hand pin in half for him? So he gets to be the half hand of the king?
They'll give him Jaime's glove hand.
No, you can't give away Jaime's dick hand. You gotta stop doing that.
Well, because if Stannis becomes king, he's going to make sure Jaime's dead.
That's true. That's a bummer. See, I can't play those hypothetical games because I'm like, but I kind of like him. It's kind of like if Arya comes through and just wipes out half the planet. I'm like, but I liked him a little bit.
Yeah, so what do you think?
He deserved to die.
What do you think, real quick, back to Arya, with that whole, you have to get rid of all your belongings that make you you, and she can't seem to do it?
Well, she had no problem with the clothes, which I don't blame her. Those are some shitty-ass fucking clothes.
Well, yeah, but
there's my girl moment of the day. Like, those are some raggedy clothes.
And that's where I wonder what kind of trouble she's going to get into in the future. This whole, I'm ready to train, I'm ready to learn, I'm ready to do anything you tell me. Oh, yeah, except when you tell me to do some things, I won't actually do them right.
Well, they didn't tell her specifically. Like, I could get into some real legalese semantics with this, and I'm gonna. So.
But just remember, the idea is to get rid of everything from your past life.
Well, no, he just said, why are you surrounded by Arya Stark's things?
But remember, now at any point, she can go right back there and pick up one of Arya Stark's things, which doesn't distance her from Arya Stark, knowing that it's always going to be there just in case.
I get where she couldn't leave it behind, but also she's there with the ulterior motive of training for a very specific purpose. Which is
against everything that the people who she wants to learn from stand for.
Yeah, well, she wasn't raised there.
Neither was the Faceless Man.
Oh, see, I don't know that.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to know that? I don't think I'm supposed to know that.
I've mentioned it to you, probably not on the podcast, but he's really the only representative of one of the cities in Essos that I can't remember off the top of my head. But they are distinguished specifically by their speech in that they don't say I. They say the man, the woman, the girl. So that's how you know he's from that city.
Oh,
I'll look it up and I'll have it for you for next week. But yeah, that's the only way that anyone would know is if they read the books or that giant tome specifically that you gave me. It's really the only way to know.
See, I just thought it was part of his cryptic training methods, like some Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, and it works fine for the show. It's kind of one of those little bonuses if you happen to have, gotten your hands on the history of Westeros.
I can understand Arya not throwing away the sword because I'm cheap and that sword is very expensive, so I would have been right there with her. Do you know how much the sword costs? No, thank you.
I don't really think that's exactly where they're worried about, though, because a lifetime of training as a murderous assassin is priceless.
This is like one of those old-style MasterCard commercials.
Sword, 5,000 coins.
Shitty rags for clothing.
-4 coins.
Bag full of coins.
-3 coins. Weird.
So weird. Lifetime of assassin trading. Right.
But again, though, just that subtle thing shows that Arya wants to learn how to be an assassin. She doesn't want to serve the Faceless Man, or the Faceless God. Or the God of many faces and become a Faceless Man. There we go.
There we go. Yeah, so she doesn't want to become a man. I support her decision.
Yeah, it's awkward.
Like I said, I support her decision. If she wanted to, I support her in that too. But
Yeah, which also leads me to wonder, are they so good they can change sexes, or do they have to... Well, maybe we'll find out.
Yeah, because it didn't seem like a lot of ladies were going up in there committing suicide from the tainted water.
Yeah, and I would assume, a lot of those ladies would maybe be older.
I don't know. Wait and see.
We have to, see the dead body pool count and see what they look like.
So we did touch on Jon Snow becoming slightly more badass this episode.
I wonder if he planned and expected that, because he seemed really prepared.
He was all right on that fetch my sword.
Yeah, because I liked how he made the one guy head ranger, showed basically, hey, no harm done, and I'm going to judge everyone based on their skills. I'm not going to be an ass and hold grudges. But with Slint, it was, he took the advice. Yeah, let's send him away because he's basically a bad mouther. All he does is whine and bitch and talk shit. So, hey, I'm promoting you. I'm putting you in charge of your entire keep. Oh, you don't want it? You sure you don't want it? Okay, we're going to kill you now.
Well, I felt that was very reminiscent to...
I just love how Slint's still stuck to that whole, I was Lord Captain of the Watch in King's Landing.
I have so many powerful friends. You'll regret this forever.
Yeah, all the powerful friends that sent you here, huh, douchebox?
Yep, until that sword came out. Then his story changed real fast, didn't it?
Real. It was good times.
No, the first person that Ned whacked their head off, very similar scenario. Then Rob was faced with the, hey, I got a trash talker and a troublemaker. I got to do what I got to do. Now, obviously, that didn't work out so well,
and what the person Ned had killed was a deserter from the Night's Watch. And what Slint basically became by refusing to do his duty was a deserter of the Night's Watch. Yeah. Ooh, parallels.
Ooh, with the same sword.
No, it's not the same sword.
Aww.
This was the one, this was the one that was given to him. This was the Lord Commander's sword, I believe. Well, we will internet that one and find out who's right. Maybe I'll get a number on this little competition.
I will be doing the screen grabs. I'll do a side-by-side, and for the sake of fairness in our what has now become a competition.
In the show, it's Long Claw. The show, and it was given to him by Lord Mormont. So, the Longclaw was a Mormont weapon. Sir Jorah Mormont had it. When he went into exile, he had the sword sent back to his father on the wall. Years later, Jeor gave Longclaw to Jon Snow as a reward for saving his life from a light.
Is that the sword that he just used this episode? Because I swear it's his wolfy sword that...
Well, no, how would he have gotten his father's sword? Because his father had his sword down in King's Landing.
I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun. I'm
dun,
right.
dun, dun. Oh, well, whatever. You can get a point this week. I'm already up, 3-1? I don't care.
You got 2 right in a row at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, kabam, kabam. I'm on point today, sir.
Jerk face.
It's okay. I'll edit one out so it can only be 2-1.
That's fine. 3-1. I like to come from behind.
Oh.
Unlike Tyrion anymore.
Yeah. I don't get what was up with that. I was pretty sure it's her bracelet. Was the same bracelet that Shay had.
It could have been. Or it could have, one way or another, he's a broken man right now. He literally cannot indulge one of his hobbies.
He just seemed to get a look at something.
Yeah, his heart is still broken. He can't get it up.
Poor guy. I mean, what does he have left, really?
I'll tell you, he's still got a silver tongue. The fact he actually talked a prostitute into taking an IOU.
One does not lose that kind of charm. Heartbroken or not. You got the skills, you got the skills.
So what else did you want to hit on here?
Well, the last thing was me laughing my ass off at the end of the episode where it's I'm gonna take you to the queen, and it's bitch, that's where he was going.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm glad that stayed the same. Except,
okay.
Shit's gonna get ridiculous. That's all I'm gonna say. You know how Jorah's I'm going to take you to the queen, but the whole he was exiled thing?
Yeah, I see this going over swimmingly.
Yeah, so good times.
We also have the spider in play, which is unknown territory, correct?
Yes. At this point, I do not believe he was with... Yeah, because at this point he was traveling with someone else. And they're at the right place for him to get kidnapped. They're in the same city. In the books and the show, but he wasn't traveling with Varys at this point.
Gotcha. So I don't think Varys is just gonna sit idly by while Tyrion just disappears.
Yeah, he kind of needs Varys. Or yeah. Varys kind of
Although,
needs Tyrion.
can I just state for the record, when one is exiled from their city, from their beloved Khaleesi, why do you start traveling around with a hog tying rope and a ball gag?
He wasn't a brothel. That could be his thing.
It very much looked like he just so happened to have that on hand.
He might have actually stolen it from the brothel for all we know.
Ooh.
I need into your supplies closet really quick. I'll pay. Yeah, I'll take this and this. Ooh, kinky.
Do you know where that ball gag's been?
Ugh.
Yep, that just gave me the heebie-jeebies. Which seems to be when we know it's time to end the episode.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody. Good luck getting that out of your ear eyes.
Your ear eyes?
Your ear eyes.
That you look and listen with?
Yeah, well, it's your imagination. Your ear eyes.
Ah, gotcha.
Come on, get with it.
I'm so out of touch. So old.
Yes, because that's the worst. You can't cleanse it from your memory.
According to all the Facebook quizzes, I'm old.
You're just an old soul.
Yeah, keep telling myself that.
Well, which means you got to get to editing so we can get this episode up there, Grandma.
Oh, that's what we're going with. Ooh, the stingers keep coming. You want to know what my stinger for the week was?
I'll call you Grandma Rose.
Oh, well, that's okay. You can compare me to her any day. I kind of totally want to cosplay her for MagFest and just walk around and snark and read all the people. Because as a very wise drag queen once said, always remember to read good books and bad people.
Nice.
Words to live by, honey. So, with that, thanks everybody for listening this week. Sorry we were all over the place. Once again, we were riddled with some technicals. We're working on that. If you are watching us on YouTube, remember to give us a like and a subscribe, please. It really helps everything out. And if you are on our website, you can always direct download each episode on the website, scrumptiousunscripted.com. You can also check us out on Facebook and Twitter, because I'm old and that's all I run right now. So once again, thanks for listening. This has been Kat and Pappy, and we'll see you next week.